Hello and welcome to the Walk in Love podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Brooke.
And today we are going to answer some questions and talk about other things that will be good for your brain.
Wow. Does the song not work anymore? There we go.
There we go. We're here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your week. The Walk in Love podcast is a weekly conversation between Brooke and I about emotions, rhythm, marriage, parenting, and faith. It's a place where we laugh and sometimes cry as we try to find language to live a joy-filled life. And if you are looking for a joy-filled life, you are in the right place.
We might not know how to do an intro anymore.
Here is how I'm feeling.
Okay.
No notes.
Ooh.
No notes. No notes.
No notes?
No notes.
No notes!
No notes.
No notes!
No.
So we just closed the collection today.
Yeah.
And we've been going pretty heavy on the podcast.
We're going hard. Just like the world is ours.
Might get copyright strike for that one. Is that Kesha?
That is.
That's K dollar sign.
K dollar sign.
And so we thought we'd have a little more fun today.
Yeah. Taking a break from the integrated notes
talk
because there's still so much to go through, which is honestly really, really exciting. But I felt like our brains couldn't even read those notes well and translate them into an episode right now.
So we're
answering some questions.
Answer some questions, going to do some segments, going to have some fun. So if you're here for that, welcome. And I feel like some of our no notes episodes sometimes surprise us.
We usually land somewhere.
Where I'm going to start though, is the Academy Awards.
Whoa.
Brooke, obviously a huge fan of the Academy Awards, watches it every year, stays up late, just can't get enough of it.
But I wouldn't have to stay up late here, would I?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
In case you were wondering, they happened. Apparently less and less people have realized they're happening every year. And here's the issue. Movies stink. I'm just gonna come out and say it. And the good movies, super hot take. Most movies stink, and the good movies don't get nominated for the awards.
Yeah.
And now, so like a couple years ago, they expanded the Best Picture to have more nominations.
Yeah.
So they could nominate the good movies, but they don't win.
The actual good movies. Right.
But they'll never win. It's always some like, and I was watching a video of a guy and he was talking about how like he went through the Best Pictures like for the last
all the years.
decade. And he was like, tell me one that you've rewatched. And it was like, I haven't. Because they're not
actually the best pictures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't watch them over and over and over again. So
it's no Blind Side.
Which
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't. No, never. So I'm going to list the Best Picture movies. And if you couldn't catch the sarcasm, Brooke has never watched the Academy Awards. Third lowest ratings in history.
What were the other 2 years?
The last 2 years.
Oh, wow. A little bit of an uptick. Maybe they thought Will Smith was going to slap someone again. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was last year.
It's
working. Their marketing plan is working.
If we could have one famous person go crazy
to buy more t-shirts
in front of everyone. What is the marketing version of the Will Smith slap?
Yeah.
I remember the day after that happened and just like the onslaught of memes. Mm-hmm. And then Jeremy Roloff actually posted a meme that was like a knight like in full like metal knight armor sitting like after like he looked like he had a long battle. And it was just like, you made it through all the Will Smith memes.
Oh yeah. I've made
Okay. So we're going to go over the Best Pictures.
Oh boy.
And then we'll do animated.
Okay.
You've probably seen more of those.
Yes. Oh, 1,000%.
Okay. How do I shrink this down just so I can see a little bigger? Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 Best Pictures.
10 Best Pictures.
10 years?
There's 10 Best Pictures? Okay. Oh, good night.
How many do you think?
So this is for 2022.
2022. How many do you think you've seen?
Seen? 3.
Okay.
Well, animated is separate.
Animated is separate.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Okay. Elvis.
Am I trying to guess?
No. I'm going to tell you.
I was like, oh my word.
Elvis.
Not seen it.
I saw it.
You saw it.
It's Bars Luhrmann. If you guys don't, he did Moulin Rouge. He did Across the Universe or something. Like his are very theatrical.
Right.
It's not one I would watch
again.
Brand
for him.
Yeah.
But
I think my main takeaway on Elvis was like, it wasn't as much about Elvis as it was about his like scummy business partner.
Who were we just talking to? Or was I talking to somebody who's a massive Elvis fan? They actually named their kid.
Elvis?
No.
Graceland. Presley? Oh. From where we used to live. The house we rented up the street. Her name's Presley.
That's Presley.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but they were like saying that they were like their whole family. It's like their dad loved Elvis. It was like this big thing, and
my
they went to see it.
My grandma loved Elvis. When I went to their 80th anniversary, she told me
that. I
was like, she's like, I've been to Graceland, but I never got to see him live. He died too soon.
Oh, too soon.
So you haven't seen it. For me, it's like a so-so. Okay. Like
I can't say
it's
that
sort
I'm
of
like
fantastical,
wildly interested.
But my main takeaway was like I wanted it to be more about Elvis. I wanted to see the guy. Swami,
whatever his name is,
Samsonite, Austin something.
Yes, Austin.
Yeah.
Dong.
I felt like he did a great job, but
can you imagine if your last name was
what
I just mumbled, which was Temalemalem Dong?
Oh, hey, Theodore.
Nice to meet you.
Theodore.
Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet somebody. I'm going to get married. I'm the future Mrs. Temalemalem Dong. Anyway.
Wow, is that
is that short for
anything?
Is that
Malaysian or where are you from?
I'm from Tennessee. Anyway.
Temalemalem Dong. Mr. For the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen,
please
Mr.
welcome.
And Mrs. Ding Dong.
Oh, you had the ding.
Okay, you haven't seen Elvis.
Okay.
I've seen it. All Quiet on the Western Front, a Netflix war movie. Have not seen it,
but I'm interested in seeing
Heard
it.
It's really, really good. Have not seen that one yet. Triangles of Sadness.
Never heard of it.
I've lived in a
diagram.
I've lived in a triangle
it's no
of
longer
sadness.
A circle.
What is your triangle of sadness?
Ooh, stomachache. No. Okay, stomachache.
And that's going down, or is that the baseline?
I know that's over to the left. That's the bottom left.
Okay.
Actual sadness over like my kids, like something.
Okay.
Like I feel for them or for someone else. Stomachache, real sadness and grief. What's at the top of mine? My triangle of sadness. Like meal regret. When you order the wrong meal and you're like, I should have ordered that.
Those kind of connect.
Yours looks so much better than mine.
You know, meal regret, which gave you a
meal
stomach
jealousy,
ache,
maybe.
And your kids
Now
were in
I'm
the
actually
restaurant
sad.
too long.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't go to restaurants, I guess.
Maybe I would watch that movie.
Okay, so I haven't seen it. Women Talking.
Nope.
Gosh, am I right? Women be talking.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Top Gun Maverick. Seen it. Love it. Should have won.
Yeah.
Tar, T, but the A with the like little schwummy thing on it.
The ding dong.
The little ding dong. Yeah. Is that who's named after? Tamala Ding Dong.
Yes.
Oh,
No, it's Tamala Ding Dong.
No, Tamalamala.
Tamalamala Dong.
Terrence Tamalamala Ding Dong.
And Terrence and Tamara.
I've not seen Tar. Never heard of it. Avatar: The Way of Water. I've seen
Heard of it, but not interested.
Costs like $40 billion to make, and I'm just like,
there's a better use of that money in this world right now.
The Fablemans, which is like Steven Spielberg's like portrait of his life as like a young filmmaker.
Oh, interesting.
Never saw it. The Banshees of Inisherin. It's got
of insurance?
No, the Banshees of Insurance, starring Allstate. Dun 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 dun. No, that's Farmers.
Yes.
Well, it's a Farmers Allstate sort of.
We are Farmers.
It's like who has better commercials?
Yeah.
Farmers or Geico.
Progressive.
And so it's like this
She
story
battles the gecko
of this epic tale of the Banshees of Insurance. They are the Banshees. And then
I never heard of it, though.
And then the one that won Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I saw. It's weird.
It's very weird.
It's like one of those movies that like a film student going into film school is right now is like, oh, favorite movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
But it's like, one again, like I wouldn't rewatch it. It's pretty strange. There's like some weird fight scenes in it. It's
one very
weird
specific
fight scene.
And
it's like okay, but it's not like again.
It's very original feeling.
Yes.
And it was, I thought, very well acted, very enjoyable from that perspective. Like visually, it was just cool.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what are they doing? And this concept of somebody being
Multiverse,
everywhere all at once. But yeah, it was, it was a little abrasive at times.
Yeah. Not one that I would watch and watch again.
No.
Which again, I think
not one I would watch on an airplane.
I forget which video I was watching, but someone said that, and it's like that adds up. And so like I feel like a best picture should be something that one made a lot of money. Like there has to be some measure of success.
Yeah.
That like it did well at the box office. Lots of people saw it. 2, it was well done, well shot, critically loved, fan loved, and 3, like the rewatch test.
Yeah.
So, okay, best animated features. You ready?
Yeah.
How many of these do you think you've seen? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Nah, 4. I'm gonna say I've seen 4 out of 5.
Oh, I think you're right. Well, maybe you've walked in and out of one of them.
Okay.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Loved it.
Great movie.
Watched
we
it
saw
last
that on Friday
for our family movie night.
So
the girls
good.
have seen it 3 times since then.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
Great movie. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Yes.
Another great movie.
Great movie. A little slow for kids.
Yeah.
But if you know the original videos, it's very clever.
Just look at my face and guess what's the next one is.
Oh, Turning Red.
Turning Red.
Are you kidding me? Or like Turning Barf.
Man, did we just become a diss podcast?
That's what we're going to do now? Yeah. Everything's just more like...
Women be talking. The Sea Beast.
Yep.
That's a good one. And then the winner, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Nobody liked that. It was horrible. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I watched a guy review it and I was like, yeah, I have no interest in seeing that.
It looks creepy.
I've come to the point in my life.
Pinocchio's creepy to begin with, but you can lighten it.
Where I would rather have spoilers and know a movie's good going into it than just waste my time watching
finding
it.
out. Yeah.
And even if it's not like I just need the YouTube title, The Critical Drinker Recommends blank, and then I'll go see it.
Yeah.
And if I don't have that title, I'm out. Okay, so there's the Academy Awards. Just a little fun for you.
Wow.
Do you feel...
What a world we live in.
Oh, we forgot to do a sponsor, but we don't have one this week because you guys shop the collection and you're amazing.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Thank you for sponsoring our podcast by shopping for t-shirts. And I do have a Mount Rushmore for you. Are you ready for it? Of course you are. I sent you the notes. Mount Rushmore of cringiest style trends.
Oof. First of all, I feel like my list is very specific to one style trend.
Okay.
I feel like if I'd seen a list or seen pictures, I maybe could have picked more. But just off the top of my head.
Let me see if ChatGPT has some cringy style trends for us.
Oh, interesting. I'll ask. Mine would be the crazy low jeans that I feel like were kind of popular in the early 2000s. Okay. I feel like I can picture like Christina Aguilera.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
basically, I think I'm picturing her in this whole outfit. Or someone I hate to throw her under the bus. Somebody in that, like they were kind of famous then. She was very famous then. Super low jeans. Because I remember, I don't think I had a pair quite that low. But it was the dumbest thing. Because the second you sat down, your butt crack was out.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I don't think any style trend should follow the look of a plumber fixing your sink.
No. So mine would be super low rise jeans. The tube tops, which is funny because it kind of accompanies that. Or maybe the bandana, I should clarify. The bandana as a tube top.
Yeah.
No.
That thing's holding on by a women of prayer.
Yeah. And a tiny little knot in the back. The super skinny eyebrows. Again, this is all the same outfit. I'm just like...
I have seen
somebody with all of these trends at once. And it's sadly Christina.
And her name is probably named Samantha.
Yeah. Oh, her name... Not our Samantha, but could have been a Samantha at the time.
I feel like that's like a late 80s, early 90s baby.
Who was growing up in the 2000s, who was like at that trend. Okay, so the skinny eyebrows, the crazy low jeans, the tube tops. That's kind of all connected into one. And then more recently... those stupid neon glasses that were just like slats. I'm like, you're letting the light in.
And you're blocking your vision.
And at no point was it like a UV thing.
Would that have made it okay for you?
Well, no, but it just literally pointless. Okay.
I don't feel like that one goes with the other three.
No,
okay,
not at all. But they
most
don't have to go
popular names
together.
of the late 1980s. Samantha is not on there. Her name was probably Jessica or Jennifer or Amanda.
I mean, Jessica Simpson. I could probably
Yeah.
picture her in the
Oh,
same
yeah.
outfit. Amanda Bynes.
Jessica.
Mandy Moore, which is an Amanda.
What about Jennifer? Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
She's a little
she was probably wearing that too, though.
Yep. Okay.
Jennifer Coolidge. Coolidge?
Yeah. Okay. My worst, cringiest style trends. You ready?
Not yours.
No. Just ones that I
Just
think
ones
are
you think
horrible.
that
If you're
bother you.
wearing this right now, you should probably change. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to judge you because I can't see you, but know that I am judging you.
Yes.
Jinko jeans. The like
Janko jeans? Yes.
super big. They covered your whole shoe.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Very impractical. How are you walking in those? They're always
Heavy. And they were like
Yeah.
falling down kind of with the chain attached to it. Okay.
Emo hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But specifically the emo hair, like everyone had the swoop.
Right.
But then there were some people with the swoop and like the caca in the back.
Right.
So the swoop and the caca. That
Not
was
there
bad.
for that.
I mean, all of it was bad, but that especially where it was like
Standing
sort of
up and spiky.
and then like came around and yeah.
Yeah.
The denim skirt over the jeans. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. I don't think I ever did that. A denim skirt over jeans or just a skirt over jeans?
Or
anything over jeans.
I think anything over jeans. Jeans should be your final layer on your legs.
Yeah. Final leg layer.
Is jeans.
Jeans.
You can put leggings under jeans if you're trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
In a chilly environment.
Yeah.
But that one, and then my one is
I feel like Disney original movies around that time made that super popular.
Oh, okay.
Like Lizzie McGuire was wearing that outfit.
Disney's like, we got to sell more jeans and skirt combos.
Yeah.
What do we do?
What's the marketing for that?
Call Lizzie. See if she'll slap Will Smith. Okay, and this is a new one.
Okay.
Like currently, if you have older teenage kids, they might be doing this, but that's fine. They'll grow out of it. The modern poof male TikTok hair. It's like all shaved on the side, and then it's just like a
Poofy ball on the
it's
top.
like almost like the end of a Q-tip. Like
Yeah.
and I just don't get it. And it like
Maybe
just
we're
sort of
just-
like it looks like it's just sort of hovering there.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Kind of looks like a wig, honestly.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So those are my 4.
Those are good.
Okay.
I would
asked
agree.
Chatty,
What do we ask him?
what are some of the cringiest style trends
Of all time?
of all time? Number 5, shutter shades.
Okay, I didn't know they had a name. I called them stupid slat glasses.
Number 4, this one might be a hot take for you.
Uh-oh.
Fanny packs.
Stupid. Wait. What are you, cringy?
Cringiest. Because the fanny pack is back, baby.
Yeah, but most people aren't wearing it like a fanny pack.
Okay. So
So a true fanny pack?
that's what it says.
Yeah.
Once considered a practical accessory for hikers and travelers, fanny packs became a new trend in the 1980s and 1990s. While they have recently made a comeback, some people still find them cringy and outdated.
Yeah.
The crossbody bag is the like updated
Right.
version.
Belt bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, Crocs.
Oh, I believe that people. I'm
I
kind
feel
of
like-
indifferent, and
yeah.
actually now that I have kids, I understand it even more.
Yeah.
Like a shoe that's easy, that you can wash, that can get wet, that they can put charms on. Sign me up.
Yeah. I have a hard time, and
Although we don't
this
own
is a strong feeling. I have an actual strong feeling for our episode, but this is just
Okay.
a sidebar strong feeling.
Okay.
I have a hard time with people in public, and I know this is just a hot take of mine. If you dress like this, that's fine. I still love you. Jesus still loves you. Not looking like they dressed and people were going to see them. So like I have a hard time with like slouchy.
Like you've literally in your life maybe only left the house in sweatpants 3 times,
the only time I
or
will
unless
leave
you were
my-
going to a wrestling practice.
unless I'm going to work out. But like let's say I work out in sweatpants, it would be extremely difficult for me to then go to the store and pick something up.
Yeah, you
I
can't
feel
do
like
it.
I just it was a Muh-see-tis thing.
Yeah.
It was an airport clothes thing, airplane
Right.
clothes. Like just like we weren't like Sam tried to wear sweatpants to high school one time, and my mom was like, "You can't do that. You're just not allowed."
Can't sit with us.
And so
These sweatpants are all
Crocs,
that
I
fit me
feel
right
like
now.
while I see the value of Crocs in sort of a practical standpoint, especially for kids.
Yeah.
But like an adult wearing Crocs out in public, I don't know. I have some questions.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Yeah, I get that.
Number 2, shoulder pads.
Oh, those were a thing.
Oh.
I forgot about those. Yeah.
Okay, number 1 is a specific brand.
Could I actually? Do I know it? Could I guess it?
You would know it. It's like sort of the same era of the.
Don't tell me. Is it at the Park City Mall?
They would sell it at that one store.
Oh, so it's not a. It's not
a store. They might have stores. Brand. They might have a stores.
It's a brand in a store.
Yeah, I think you could buy it in stores. I've never bought a piece of.
Okay, tell me what store I could buy it in then.
I think you could buy it in Diesel.
That's the store I was going to guess.
Or like a Kohl's or Boscov's or.
Give me another clue. I feel like I know what it is.
It's someone's name. The first name is 2 letters.
Oh, never mind. That's not what I was thinking of.
Ed Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Known for its loud designs, rhinestones, and tattooed-inspired prints, Ed Hardy clothing was popular trend in the early 2000s. However, many people now consider the brand to be outdated and tacky. So chat.
Thanks,
bringing
Chatty.
some heat. All right. So I wish we don't have our full soundboard because of where we're recording now. But do you have a game changer? Game changers. Changes to the game in a way that the game can never be played the same way again.
I do have a game changer. So, I recently, actually, I feel like we found it a while ago.
I've been using it all year.
Resurfaced, but I feel like we found it even years ago. I haven't used it though. I've just started using an app called Tally, and literally all it does for you is count things. It is tallying something.
Yep.
But here's what I learned. So I've been journaling more lately, which
I should journal.
Which is great because it helps you figure things out. And so I was writing about homeschooling and how one of my big worries with homeschooling is that I often feel like I'm not doing enough.
Right.
And then like a few days later, I was kind of revisiting that idea and I was like, but if you actually asked me like, hey, tell me about your homeschool or whatever, I could go on and on about all the things we do and how beneficial they are and blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, okay, so it's not actually true that we're not doing enough. It's just in the moment, or especially after a harder morning of it, I feel like, I don't know, do we do anything? It's sort of like, I don't know, how was my week? I have no idea, you know, because I'm not keeping track.
Your brain is an idea machine.
Yes.
Not a keep track of things machine.
Yes. I agree with that 700%.
Wow.
Yeah. So not quite 1,000, but it's way more than 100.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, so this Tally app, so right now I only have it set up for school. And so it has things in it like how many math lessons we've done, how many books students read, how many field trips we've taken. I mean, I think I have like 10 or 12 categories. And then when I see those numbers, so like, I don't know what books we read and I don't know where the field trips were. I mean, I can figure that out when I write up our report at the end of the year because I can remember that kind of stuff. But just seeing those numbers grow, I'm like, oh. Yeah,
like I have it on my phone.
We are doing something.
And one of the categories I have is CrossFit.
Yeah.
So like I have done CrossFit 41 times this year.
Yeah.
And so what's cool is like you can click on this like little analytic thing and like click through and I average 13.67 times a month.
Wow.
So, and it's just, so I have that. I have Bible reading, books read, dates with Brooke, which is still at 0. Whoopsies. Dates with the girls, friends over for dinner, and then trips to the beach.
Yeah.
Just things I wanted to make sure that we are doing in our lives. But super helpful. Put in the show notes. Tally.
So I don't know if you feel like there's something you want to keep track of, but you don't need the specifics of it. You just need to know that you're doing it. And all those tiny little steps and ladder rungs are like taking you towards something.
Because like at the end of the year,
I would recommend it.
Like, does it matter how many times I did CrossFit? No, but like it will also just be like an encouragement to me that like
I did that. I could do that again. Yeah. Do you have a game changer?
That's a good game changer. I do, and it's Chatty. It's old Chat. Which like, you know, I'm not in the boat of AI is going to destroy us all. I've seen Terminator 2. We'll be saved by someone in the future. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. But I heard a guy talking about, because I wouldn't say like I'm on the cutting edge of technology trends. Like I wasn't an early Bitcoin guy.
Right.
You know, I'm not like
You're not the earliest adopter of things, but you're also not totally late to the game.
But like what I love about the sort of chat, because like we've had one called Jasper for a while, which like takes some of your content and like helps you reword some stuff when you're like just trying to write better.
Yeah.
Which is great. But like what I love about it is like I just typed in like cringiest style trends. Like earlier I was like, what are some, I explained like we're doing a Mount Rushmore segment on our podcast where we pick our favorite category, pick our 4 favorite of a certain category. Can you give me ideas? And that's where I got the cringiest style trends. Like,
right.
It's just a way to like extend your creativity.
Yeah.
Like, And I heard a guy talk about
a little bit more.
He was like, it is going to like radically change the way people are innovative because it's going to give them a little bit more space to do the harder side of the work, the idea side of the work, and less of the like. And so, I've just been like really big fan of it. I feel like the application is endless. Like you can, like even in homeschool, you could be like, give me 10, like I'll do it right now. Right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
10 homeschool activities.
Right. Oh, it won't struggle to come up with that at all.
And Chatty says science experiments, nature walks, creative writing, art projects, cooking.
Yeah.
And just music lessons. And then I could even go like, okay, give me 10 art project ideas.
Right.
And
you can kind of keep going in like a thread.
Yeah.
Which we talked about the other day.
And there's a version 4 coming out soon, which like I'm really like I watched some videos on it, and like a guy took a picture of a piece of paper. He had like hand drawn a website.
Okay.
And was like, turn this into code for a website for me, and it did.
That's insane.
And so it's just like
it will definitely be building a boat to get to Maui then.
Yeah.
Wow.
With lasers. So yeah, like I think if you're like, especially if you own your own business or you're making content or you're like, you feel like maybe creatively just frustrated, like it's just like, it's sort of like a Google meets, like it's like I feel like it will replace Googling eventually.
In some capacity.
Because like it will like you can, because it can lead you down a rabbit trail.
Right.
Like I can ask for the homeschool activities and then ask for specific homeschool activities. And then like once it's like, searchable, like find me 10 of those on Pinterest. Find me like, like there will be a moment where all that happens. And so like, it's just been such a game changer for us as we've made content for, almost 20 years. Like it's just,
not quite, but that's crazy.
For me with the MySpace stuff. Yeah.
That's true. We just didn't call it that then.
Yeah. So that's my game changer. And I have strong feelings. They're super strong. And Brooke and I share them. And they are that we are so eternally grateful for you podcast listeners, you butt clenchers, you beautiful, beautiful humans who listen to the podcast every week. And then when we ask you to buy from the collection, you do that. And you subscribe on Instagram and you listen and you share and you are on the community page, asking questions, talking to people. Like, we're just so grateful, and those are the strongest of strong feelings we've had.
Yeah. Is right.
Okay.
We have some questions?
No, we're going to do what we Googled.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. I actually don't know if I did as much Googling. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to have Googled all sorts of things. History. Google. Here we go. Nope, not Google. 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 There we go.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oscar winners.
Obviously.
Just did that 10 minutes ago. ExpressVPN. So I heard this travel hack that if you booked your tickets or you tried to book your tickets on a VPN from another country, they would be cheaper. It is not true. Maybe it is
certain tickets.
Maybe certain times or certain times a year or whatever, but it did not work for me.
Yeah. Okay. Best cheese for queso dip. I needed to know.
And the results?
A lot of people were saying American cheese, which one surprises me, and two, ingredient wise, I'm like, that's like using Velveeta. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. So
the queso you're making right now is so good. That needs to be a blog.
Over and over.
That needs to be a blog.
There's a lot of corn in it. It's really good.
When our new website comes out.
I know. Very excited for that. Okay, so I Googled that. I actually Googled that this morning. Infant optics baby monitor won't turn on anymore. So we've had a baby monitor. It's usually right here. So June is almost 8 years old. So we would have been given one or got one like when she was born.
Yep.
It died almost immediately.
Yeah.
So we went, stupidly enough, and bought, I think, the exact same one again. Yeah. That one lasted longer.
That's an early parenting move.
But it died again. And so then I was like, forget this. I'm switching. So I asked my friend who always has done her research and read reviews. Kim. I said, Kim.
I feel like sidebar.
We need a sticker that we can slap on that says recommended by Kim.
Or a sticker that maybe has 2 F's and a smiley face.
Oh, there you go.
Brad Ellis from Ellis Custom Creations.
Familiar.
He has a podcast called the Ghost Runners Podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like what they do. Morning with Jake and Brad. I think what they do really well is they have like fan characters, like real people that now they talk about on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like Kim is one of them. I'm just proclaiming that. Like,
I see. Yes.
Kim
for
P.
sure. We mention her a lot.
Yeah. Do we go first name, last initial, or does it, or give me pom pom, or like what are we doing here?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just go Kim.
We'll go Kim. Anyway, at the time, she was our neighbor across the street, and so I said, "What monitor do you have?" And she told me, and she has the Infant Optics monitor. So that is what we bought right before Sunny was born.
And it just
she
died.
is over 5 years old, and the screen died.
Yeah,
Cameras still work. It's actually still on and charged, but the screen is just black. I can't see anything. So because we sleep like on separate levels than our kids. Even though the girls don't need a monitor for like other reasons, I like to be able to hear their room while they're sleeping. So I got another one.
Yeah. All right. I have like a million Google searches about Keehata Lahaina traffic. Puss in Boots, Last Wish plugged in review.
Yeah, so I feel like, I don't know if we've ever said this before. Can I add a second game changer? Because I'm not going to remember it in the future for a future game changer.
Go ahead.
Game changer number 2. If you do not know that you can read reviews, because like some people are like, I never did that.
Yeah.
About kids' movies, to know whether or not you want your kids watching them, there
whether
are
or not
two sites.
Political or sociological ideology is being rammed down your kids' throats.
Yes. And just in case you're interested.
Yeah.
You're like,
if
I just kind of want to know what's
that
coming.
You're like, hey, maybe I don't want that.
Right. So there's 2, and I always get them confused.
Common Sense is the big one.
Common Sense Media is the really big one, which again is all kids content, but does not have a faith perspective.
No. So some of those things that you might not want your kids to, they won't list.
Correct. But plugged in, which is part of Focus on the Family, they will list everything. And it is so helpful. Like even if I don't have a movie to look up, I just want to find a movie.
Yeah.
That's how I found My Father's Dragon. Because I was on their site and it was just like new reviews for new movies. And it was like super recommended.
Yeah, some of the older stuff they don't have, like Common Sense's library is a lot bigger. But if I'm looking at like a movie, say pre-2008, which I think is really when sort of the ideological preferences started being jammed into movies full speed, Common Sense works.
Yeah.
But post that, I usually try to find it unplugged in.
Anyway, that's just the thing. If you didn't know
that
I
got a couple. I was making stories. So you're making stories for people submitting their cat name and their like most of those girls,
their pet and their girl.
Yeah. There weren't any boys. I don't think there was one person that put dude, which I was like, that's a nice style.
Yeah.
Style change. So I was reposting them to our Walking the Podcast story with images that I could find. Oreo girl.
So you were actually Googling their name. Right.
Yeah.
Their
Stanley's daughter. Because it was Stanley girl. Tootsie girl. Tootsie Pop. Tinkerbell spare tire cover.
Nice.
Tinkerbell steering wheel cover. What day of the year is it?
I love that. God is doing a new thing, YouTube kid.
Oh.
So if
God is doing a new thing.
You know who's doing it? God's doing it. Yo, Michael Clancy is naming it. If you have never seen the video, I think it's a DC Talk song that he is singing.
Yes, at like a talent show.
At a talent show. We will put it in the show notes.
Yes.
Please remember to do that, T, because it is gold.
Solid gold.
It is solid gold. And I just feel like it applies to a lot of seasons of life. Okay. How long
he went on to be a lawyer.
Yes. How long to bake Costco cauliflower pizza? Because I threw away the box and I couldn't remember. Hammerhead bat. Have you seen a hammerhead bat? I'm just going to show you the picture real quick. And everybody else can go Google it on their own. Have you seen a creature in your whole life that looks like that?
That looks like something that would be like in a Harry Potter movie.
It looks fake. Not like the pictures look fake, but like it looks like a creature.
It looks like a combination of like a bunch of creatures.
Yes. And so I don't remember how I came across it, probably from all the kids like science videos. And I was like,
well, you've been doing a devotion with them, which is usually based around an animal.
And then we go watch a video about that animal. And we did do bats the other day, but I had Googled this like a week ago. If you want nightmares, but also to be amazed at God's creations, Sweet spot.
There's my triangle of sadness.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They're just getting scarier as I scroll down.
Monster.
Oh my word. Go search the hammerhead bat. Not with your kids, probably, unless they're really into that kind of stuff. I think that's my last one.
Okay.
I'm back to just like
that's what we Google.
Normal stuff.
Okay. So we have a few questions from our audience that they asked on the Walk
from
in
you
Love
people
Instagram and Walk in the Podcast Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few questions. So here we go. How do you all check in with each other during collection week? So I believe that question is based off of the nightly check-in that we do.
Right.
It started that way. 15 minutes at the end of the day, you ask, what's your most positive emotion? What's your most negative emotion? As a way to get ahead of potentially things building up that would lead towards fights. Mm-hmm. So if I check in with Brooke and she's like, I was mad at you because of this, this, and this, we can have a nice, calm conversation about that. I can apologize or whatever, and it's not building up, and then I forget to take out the trash, and there's like all of a sudden a fight over forgetting to take out the trash, when in reality it's not about that. It's about something that happened 10 days before.
Right.
So the nightly check-in is great. We kind of do it throughout the day. We don't really do it at night anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great way to start it. So that's, I think, where the genesis of this question comes in.
Yeah.
During collection,
I don't feel like the style of check-in changes.
No.
I feel like it's less, how do I explain it? Like,
I feel like it's less emotional and much more tactical.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when
we actually check in a lot with all the tactical stuff. I feel like we're talking a lot. Yeah. We're working side by side a lot. And then it's like we come up out the other side and we're like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
A little bit.
But we're definitely in a season right now where we're going to bed way earlier than we ever have in our marriage.
Yeah.
Because we want to be up before our children. Like that we've found such an incredible value in that.
Game changer.
Which
I've talked about before on this podcast. Yes. Like almost 3 years ago.
That's been really, really good and just super strong for us. So like we don't really have that couch time anymore. We don't watch any shows.
Right.
And so we do the check-ins throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 2. Can we be best friends? Yes.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. We can also be best friends in person on July 9th in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Brooke and I, as well as our friends, Dr. Josh and Crispy Straub. Christy Straub. We're going to put on a marriage event. Mm-hmm. So it's unnamed yet. We're still working on it, and we got to talk to Chatty about that. TBD, but it will be on July 9th.
Yes.
In Lancaster, PA at the Junction Center.
Yes.
And we're super stoked about it. So we can be best friends on the internet, or you can come to that event.
That would be really fun.
I would say tickets will be on sale within 2 weeks of the release date of this podcast. Think that's an accurate statement? Or am I overpromising?
I don't know.
We didn't.
Are we?
We are.
Okay, then yes, that's possible. Beep, 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 beep.
Okay.
What has been one of your favorite memories from parenting?
Instantly, the first thing that pops into my head is the moment we walked down beach
yes.
at Sidewalks, Kiave Kapu. We literally moved here.
Yeah.
We put all of our stuff in the rental and we put our bathing suits on and walked
down to the beach.
And I think that image of the girls walking through, because it kind of gets dark. Like you walk in on the sidewalks and all these trees have grown up.
Like a canopy.
And you go under that and then you come out with a view of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And I think that memory will be ingrained into my brain forever. And so that's the first one because, and not only was that just like such a memorable, like visual moment, but it was also this moment of,
it felt like they were, well, the sweet thing is that they were ahead of us because they were so excited to get to the beach. It felt like we were stepping into something new. Yeah. And I feel like them being in front of us, just being so excited was just this, it was a visual representation, I think, of what we were feeling internally.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. That's why movies or whatever, anytime there's a beautiful visual representation of something you're feeling, it's moving and you remember it.
And I think something else it was like a gift that we had just given to them without realizing it. Like now I realize that we that growing up on Maui as a kid is this incredible gift that you've been given that you won't realize until you're older. And so that moment of parenting, realizing we just gave our children this gift and the one on the way, this gift, in retrospect, adding to the visual of it and just all the feelings and the emotions that we were feeling that day.
Yeah.
That is the first one that pops into my mind.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite memories from parenting, I may have talked about it before. I can't remember. It was in a similar season. So I was still pregnant with Daisy, but we were still in our rental house.
Okay.
So same house you were just talking about, when the girls every night asked me to put lotion on them because this is going to make me cry.
Let it out, babe. Place where we laugh and sometimes cry. Sham-a-lam-a-ling ding dong.
We're here for it. One, it's insanely dry here, and we were in salt water for hours a day. So their skin was literally dry. And I think they were itchy. I need lotion, but it was also like this new, cause like I didn't really do that in Pennsylvania much. And it was equally dry there at times, but like, it just wasn't part of the routine. They had 2 separate rooms. And so then coming here, they were in the same room.
That wasn't the plan though. We originally planned them.
That's true. We planned them to have separate rooms and they came together, which was really sweet. And then they would just always ask, like, will you put lotion on my hands and feet and my legs and also my back and also my face? and suddenly it's like a full body lotion. And I'm like, okay. But I look back, I mean, I always enjoyed it then, but I look back now at how like sweetly precious those few months were that happened. Like we were about to have another change, adding a new baby. And like, I'm not a very touchy person, like physical touch, LOL. I'm just not. I'm trying to get better at that. Me?
You?
Was maybe there.
Never
Brooke wasn't there because she didn't want to be touched. And so I don't say this like, oh, I never touch my kids, because that's not true. Yeah. They're always climbing and snuggling and also, and I lean into all that. But like, it was this extra element of just like connection that was really sweet in a season that was already sweet, but was
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost as if those, like even just them sharing a room together, it's almost like that season of our lives was this point of togetherness for the two of them.
Yes.
And so when they walked out together, when you're putting lotion on them together, when they're putting like, there was this element of like, we are in a new place. Our lives have changed, but we're sisters. And like, we're like this.
Yeah.
And almost all their activity in that season was sort of a mirror of that.
Yeah.
And that's especially precious to us because we're hoping, as we've talked about in the last few episodes, not to raise individuals, but to raise a team. And a move, I don't say you have to move, but a move was such a bonding team experience. Like
it's why people are like, go on an RV trip, go camping.
Yep.
Everybody go do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone a little, and you might fight the whole time. Like hopefully not dramatically, but like people are like, oh my word, the RV trip. And then you have a little bit of space from it and distance. And you're like, that was actually extremely bonding.
Yep.
And that's like part of our family, like core memories now.
Yeah. We, I've shared this idea here before, but we've decided that every time a kid turns 10, we're going on an RV trip. So we're a little under 2 years away from our first one because June is 8.
Yeah. And she is counting down.
Yes. And so is my Digit. My Digit account's counting up to save for it.
Yes.
Or Opportune. Change the name.
Got bought out. I'm still going to call it Digit. But
maybe Digit should be the sponsor. So if you want to save for the next Walk in Love collection on May 18th, go into our show notes, click on the Digit link.
Does that link still work? Even though it's not called that?
It's an app that automatically saves money in like a separate account. So it's out of sight, out of mind. We've saved for vacations. We saved for birthdays. Currently, we're saving for a new bed frame, an outdoor shower, the RV trip, a new fridge, which we've hit our goal.
So you title it, you put in the date you want to save the money by and how much you need. And then it's smart. We've talked about it a lot, but it's like, it's probably ChatGPT is probably in there somewhere. And so it's like this AI
Should
saving.
I ask Chatty what I should save for?
No. Retirement.
Oh gosh.
It like is smart. And so it learns your money. It learns when your bank account gets money and when you get paid, and so it's smart and it takes money out. Like sometimes cents at a time or just little dollars at a time until you've reached that goal.
Yeah. And I just looked at it today and I told Brooke the amount that we had. She's just like, whoa.
It's like, holy, okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, I think if you use our link, you'll get $5 for free. But you can put May 18th as the summer collection and save, if you want if you want a shirt, 2 shirts, 3 shirts, 4 shirts,
5 shirts.
It's a possibility.
What about 6 shirts?
I could see that happening.
Nah, 7 shirts?
Maybe if one was a tank top.
Yeah.
So yeah, great question.
Next question from somebody.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you? Great reference. And we'll do 2 more.
That's Kelly, right?
Yeah. Best advice for 20-year-olds. What you wish you could tell your 20-year-old self. I just saw so I am 38. Mm-hmm. No, I'm 37. I'll turn 38
You're
this
about
year.
To be 38, yeah.
So 17 years ago, what year was it?
I don't know. Ask
2023.
ChatGPT.
2023. This is embarrassing. I'm so bad at on the fly math.
On the spot fly.
2023 minus 18. So 2005.
So I was graduating from high school.
I just saw a graph that if you had invested $1,000 in Apple in 2000,
well, it's a very specific investment. Yes.
You would have $31,000 today.
Wow.
So invest in ChatGPT. No.
So you're going to go back and invest in Apple. That's what you wish you. No. That's what you would have told your.
But that leads me into my answer. My answer is I wish I had a much more realistic grasp on finances at a younger age, because I think that when your risk is low, like you're in college or you live with parents or you have like a 5-bedroom like rental that like, it's $150 a month or whatever it is. Like you're in a scenario where you have the ability, maybe not to save a lot, but to like figure out what you want to save for. And so when I look back at some of our, we weren't married yet.
No, we were dating in 2008, got married in 2009.
Even some of those early years, like, so I'm not even 20, I'm 25 or 26.
Yeah. Because it doesn't say when you're 20, when you're, no, it does. 20-year, I thought it was when you're in your 20s.
I think having a firm grasp on the reality of finance is, and maybe some goals. So if you're 20, what is your goal at 30? Do you want to own some assets? Do you want to have this much saved? Like, all of those things would have been much more helpful to me than just, do I have enough to survive? Okay, good, I'm good. Yeah. Like, because
everybody talks about like, here's some goals. How much money do you want to make? Not a bad question to ask, but like, that's what's talked about. What job are you going to go get and how much are you going to make? And then it's just kind of suggested that you're going to spend whatever you make. Because
I have friends that were very much smarter than me when I was 20. Mm-hmm. And now they own multiple homes that they rent out and are cash flow positive. And so there's that sort of stuff is the stuff I wish I could have told my younger self. And it's the stuff I hope to teach my girls, that at this young age, when you have kind of a safety net, you can set some more like audacious goals.
Right.
And then I would have loved to tell myself, I would have loved to encourage myself to reverse engineer things. So let's say I want to buy an investment property in the next 10 years. I'm 20 years old. By 30, I want to buy my first investment property.
Right.
How much is that going to cost?
Yeah.
I do the math. Okay. How much do I need to make a year?
See, then the question becomes, how much do I need to make?
Okay. Out of that, how much do I need to save?
Yeah.
Okay. Out of that, that's what I need to live off of. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here are my, like, I would have loved just more of the practice of reverse engineering things.
Yeah.
And those are super, super tactical. Obviously, there's more like spiritual answers of like, learn how to love the Bible and fall in love with reading, and, don't skip out on your quiet time. Don't skip out on eating healthy. Don't, like, all of those things are very, very much like, I guess it's just like become a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
Because I think at 20, it's so easily to just think your whole life is ahead of you, which it is.
Yeah.
But it goes by quick.
Yeah. I would say that at 20, I like kind of sort of, what's weird though is I was not 20 in 2005. How's that math right?
Oh, I did 38.
Oh, for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes more sense then.
You're younger than me.
Yeah, I know. I was like, huh? I wasn't 20 when I graduated high school.
ChatGPT. How
old am I? I think one thing that I would have that I wish I could tell my 20-year-old self, give me a minute to get there, is that like, there is so much more to learn. And that's not because at 20, I actually thought I knew it all or had it all together. That was never my posture, like at all. But you kind of just, you don't know what you don't know. And I had no idea that there was, even like with finance, that there was just so much more to learn that was not taught in school. So much about business, so much about emotional health, so much about physical health, so much about anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was just like,
I had a conversation with a guy at the gym today. He was feeling a little pukey after we finished. He goes, have you ever puked after a workout? And I said, well, I think after a wrestling workout, a few of them I've puked, and he was like, was that because like you were pushed too hard? And I was like, I think it was like early 2000 sort of sports culture that like, just push her.
Yeah.
And it's interesting doing some other sort of fitness stuff like CrossFit or P90X or all this other sort of stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
I look back and I think, why weren't we taught that,
I've said that. Like, I wasn't even as deep in sports as you were, but I did run track and I was halfway decent at it, and I cheered, and I was just like, we were not taught like any actual, and this is no slam to any specific coach or anything, but just like, I wasn't taught the things I've learned by doing other fitness programs now, or like how to just be healthier and build a better, stronger body.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
and I feel
like we all would have been a lot better.
Yeah. And that kind of has crossed over now into sort of eating, like in the food that we eat. We sort of just ate whatever we were put in front of us. And so were our parents. And now we're finding out, hey, most of that's not super good for you.
Right.
And so I think
Spicy Chicken Thursday has some side effects.
I think the like baseline of what we're saying is to remain curious. And to push through apathy or just sort of status quo.
Yeah.
To chase that curiosity.
Yeah.
If I could tell my 20-year-old self something, I would say chase curiosity, even when the people around you aren't chasing it.
Yes.
Because as you chase it, you're going to find your people.
Yes.
And when you find
yes.
There it is.
I'm just going to keep saying yes. Well, I'm going to lead that into the next question.
Yeah.
The final one. Somebody asked, why homeschooling?
Because we're part of a conspiracy, baby.
I mean, yes. Well, it's a pretty big conspiracy. There's a lot of people homeschooling now, especially over the last few years.
So
I feel like something happened in the world. And so one, I always thought that we would homeschool at some point. I was homeschooled for a brief period of time, 6th, 7th, and 8th, the prime time to be pulled out of school for a girl.
Absolutely.
Which was not really the intentional thing. It was just, that's when they decided to take my brother out. And so I came with. And so loved it, totally enjoyed it. I only went back to high school so I could do sports and stuff.
Which now
Tim
Tebow has fixed that.
You can do that kind of stuff. Honey mustard. And so I always thought we would. And then the second thing is like, and I don't even have to get into all the like school politics of why we homeschool. Right. Like, because I don't want this to be taught and blah, blah, blah. Like I can literally.
TikTok shows us enough of why we should homeschool that we don't need to get into it.
I can literally leave all of that on the table, off the table, whatever the phrase is.
I wish all of that was off the table and the ocean sunk to the bottom.
But I can like totally, here's my connection, the chasing curiosity. And a big one for me is like not being tied to my kids' schedule.
Yeah.
Because we do work from home, and because although even if you didn't work from home, you could figure it out. Anyway, I just don't want to be like, we can't do that, or we can't be there, or we can't travel there, or whatever, because my second grader is in school all the time.
Yeah. And, that goes back to our 20-year-old self. The thing we would tell ourselves is, hey, you're not being taught everything you need to fully experience the life that I think God has for you, or the life that you're like your fullest potential, or whatever, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
And school is such like it's sort of the college conversation that we've had before is you're just supposed to go.
Yeah.
You don't need to know a rhyme or a reason or whatever.
It's just what's
you
next.
Couldn't get a tattoo 2 weeks ago without your parents' permission, but here's a $50,000 loan that you'll have to pay back,
least.
And so I think what we're getting at, the answer to both these questions is like chasing curiosity is such a valuable asset to have. It's such a valuable tool in your tool belt.
Yeah.
It's a valuable phrase to see and look at and think of. and experience. And modern Western school does not teach our kids to chase curiosity.
Right.
Because coming out of high school and college, I wasn't chasing curiosity.
No. And if and when I was, it was with the gentle prodding and support of my parents, not anything from school.
Yeah.
And it would have been like business related, like entrepreneurial, like go after it.
And then the internet
stuff.
sort of opened that for a lot of people because
Yeah.
they were like, oh, well, I see that this person can do that. So
Right.
maybe I can
do
too.
this. Yeah.
And so I think homeschool for us, a big part of it is there's one, just like a physical schedule aspect to it, 100%. Yes. There's a part of it that's like sort of culture and what they're trying to teach our kids. No, thank you. Unsubscribe. Yeah. And then there's a part of it that I believe
I also want to be with my kids.
I want our kids to chase curiosity. And so if they don't learn the periodic table, but can run a successful business because that's what they want to do, then great. Yeah. I'm all in on that.
Because what's interesting is sometimes people say, what did you love about being homeschooled? Like, which again was only 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And every time
Were you wearing low cut jeans, a bandana as a top?
No, not quite. That was just too early.
Okay.
Every time the things on my list are, one, we got to travel along with my dad's job. So when he traveled, because he's a kids and family musician.
You were integrated.
We were integrated. We got to go along. We would go to Michigan for 2 weeks. We'd go to North Carolina. We'd go wherever he was singing, which was really cool. Not all the time, but we could.
Yeah.
It was an option. One time we rented the beach house 2 weeks longer than normal.
Wow.
And we started our school year there. And that was I just remember thinking that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, all that aside, when I'm like, honestly, my favorite parts about homeschooling were that I learned how to cook. I learned how to do the dishes. I learned how to do the laundry. Yep. And like, I believe I would have learned those things. My mom would have taught me that anyway, for sure. But that's what I walked away with. And I remember going to college and being like, literally these kids do not know how to start the washer. They don't know where to put the soap.
Yep.
And they don't know which button to push.
And I wasn't homeschooled. But my parents made
your parents.
My
had
parents
a
had rules.
Laundry rule
they had rules.
It got passed around church, and my family had to adopt it.
As soon as you turned 13, you did your own laundry. Once you were a teenager,
my mom was like, "You know what I could do? I could do like the Mousetis do." I remember a conversation in the basement in front of the washer dryer, and I was like, "No, not yet. It's fine. It's fine."
And my parents, when they look back, I mean, my younger sister homeschools her kids.
Yeah.
We homeschool. My older sister has kind of done some of both.
Yeah.
My parents always say you're so much braver than we were. We wanted to, but it was just like, how do we do it?
It was way less. I mean, I remember my mom saying that. Like, she didn't have very many friends who were. And she had to like go to some in-person conference to pick out curriculum and like see other people there. And I'm like, now it's just wildly different.
And that's the cool thing about these sort of conspiracies that we end up living by is we test them. And then as people see the results, they become attracted to them.
Yeah.
And so,
I could talk about homeschooling a lot. Yeah. I could do episodes on it. I could certainly do I could share what we do because it really does bring me a lot of joy. And I have nothing but positive things to say about it. I think the benefits far outweigh the like
inconveniences.
Yes. 1,000%.
Or the fear that may surround it.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't homeschool, we're not,
there's
no judgment. I wasn't homeschooled.
Yeah.
And so, I think the more important lesson is like, whatever schooling you're giving your children, like if they're leaving the house for school, then at home you need to teach them the chasing curiosity, life stuff, because that's for sure not happening here.
Yeah.
And then our side is the opposite. Like we're teaching them the chasing curiosity life stuff.
Yeah.
And then we also need to make sure they know how to read and do math and some of that stuff. And so there's a balance both ways. But
what do I do if I come face to face with a hammerhead bat?
Yeah.
We got to know this kind of stuff.
I
scream and run.
Yeah.
They
by
are
the looks of the picture, I would scream and run.
I have ever seen.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
It looks like something that would be in the movie Fantastic Beasts.
Yes. Its face doesn't look real.
Does not look real. It looks like another animal's head was sewn on a bat's body.
What are those? Kakukaras.
Terrence, Ding Dong. He owns a few. Yeah, he farms them.
What? Oh, it's going to drive me nuts.
Okay, let it drive you nuts. But we're done for today. Thank you for enjoying our, I guess, more chill episode, which we like to do after coming off of a collection because most of our words have been used.
Yes.
And then thank you for shopping I almost said Christmas. That's where my brain is. Spring collection.
I mean, thank you for shopping Christmas last year, but also
also spring. We have a vote, which I'll put in the show notes for you to vote on summer designs. There's both some reprints in there that we've done before. There's some that are like super old that most of you may have never seen. And then there's maybe 6 or 7 brand new designs just because I want to get a gauge on if you're vibing with what I've created. But thank you for shopping, for listening to the podcast, for being on the community page, and just for being a butt clencher.
Okay, I love you. Bye.